Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're looking for comfort, for peace, for ease in the midst of chaos or stress, then you are in the right place. What is our topic today? Today, I wanted us to talk about living our best lives. What does it mean to me or to you to live your best life? When do you tell yourself, I'm living my best life right now? Because this is all you have. Are you living the best of your life? Do you think you're living the best of your life? So that's what we are discussing today, ladies. What does that mean for me? What is my interpretation of living the best life? Do you sometimes tell yourself that I will be happy when? I will be happy when I buy my house. I will be happy when I drive this particular car. I will be happy when my children attain this, or I will be happy when I go on vacation, or I will be happy when I'm financially independent. I know we all do that. I do that. I'm guilty of that 100%. And I still do that. There are certain things about my life that I tell myself, if only they could change, I will be happy if this happens. We sort of delay our happiness and make our happiness conditional on achieving some future event or some goals or something in the future. And then in the meantime, we are not happy about where we are. We are not happy about our circumstances, but live in temporary, as if this life is temporary until we achieve that goal. So if that's you, whose happiness is delayed, whose happiness is dependent upon some future goal, then ask yourself if that's living your best life. Ask yourself if you are enjoying the process. Ask yourself if placing your happiness conditional on something, on some future event, does that mean you're living your best life for you, or does it mean you're living your life as if you are temporary? I used to do this, ladies. I'm so guilty of this, and I'm still doing it. I remember when I was living in Botswana, after I finished my degree, I was working for a very small law firm. And if you would ask me what I did for a living, I would never tell you that I was a lawyer. I would never, because I was ashamed of where I was working. Because in my head, I told myself that a real lawyer is supposed to be working for a particular law firm. A real lawyer is supposed to be driving a certain car. A real lawyer is supposed to be having this salary. Because I wasn't getting that salary, I wasn't driving that car, and I wasn't working for that particular law firm. Then I thought myself not worthy of being called a lawyer. I would tell other people that I'm a secretary somewhere in town. You see, so I did not enjoy my journey as a lawyer. I think the first 5 years of it, I didn't. I was ashamed because I told myself that I will only be happy or I will only be a real lawyer when I reach this one, two, three, four, five, these conditions. So what does that mean? That meant I was complaining about my job. I always complained about my salary. I always complained about where I was, about my station. I wasn't happy because my happiness was dependent upon achieving things. I was like that at home as well because I was living in a rented house. I didn't even take care of the house. I didn't even contribute or participate in choosing furniture or decorating the house. It felt like my life wasn't temporary. Was I was just moving. I was in a bus and I was going somewhere with no destination. That's actually how it felt when you don't participate and you don't take part in your life. You don't see the other things, the good things that are happening in your life. When your eyes are only focused on the discomforts, when your eyes are only focused on complaining and see the negative things, and telling yourself that, oh, these things should change. I'll only be happy if these condition changes or if these conditions change. So ladies, so that's not living your best life. That's not living your best life because you are ignoring the good things about your life. You're not seeing them, but your eyes are your attention is only focused on the things that are not going good. So that's what we are talking about today. What does it mean? How can you shift from that position? How can you shift from seeing negative things to wanting to live your best life? What do you need to change in your mindset? What do you need to change in your behaviors, in the way you think, for you to start telling yourself that I want to live the best life and this is what I'm going to do to live my best life? So when I started this journey of self-love, ladies, I decided that I was going to live my best life in every given moment because I was tired of complaining. I had had enough of negative things, of just seeing negative things. I wanted to be happy, but I wanted to be happy now. I wanted to be happy in this moment, right now, the only moment that I have, the here and now. I didn't want to place my happiness somewhere in the future and wait until I get there. What if I never get there? What if you never get there? So, ladies, just imagine if you're living. This is what my teachers told me when I started this journey of self-love. They asked me to imagine, which is what I'm asking you to do as well. They asked me to imagine living on an island alone. I'm just the only person on that island, and there's no one else in the world. What would you complain about, and who would you be complaining to? Because that's exactly how we should look at our lives. You should always imagine as if you're living alone in your world alone, because the decisions that we make, for no matter how small a decision is, even if it's deciding to wake up at 6:30, even if it's deciding to wear a blue gown, even if it's deciding to go and brush your teeth, deciding to apply for a job somewhere, agreeing this particular salary, deciding to buy your car, deciding to buy a house, whatever decisions that you make, no matter how small or how big, they are the best decisions that you have in that particular moment. But that decision stops being the best decision when you compare with somebody else. It stops being the best decision when you compare with your neighbor. I know you all agree with me. Just imagine if you were alone on an island and you're making your decisions and there's no one to compare to. That means that will be your life. You'll be living your best life. But our life stops being the best life because we are looking next door. Oh, this is what their children are doing. Mine should do whatever the same as well. And then we start criticizing ourselves, we start criticizing our lives, we start criticizing everything about us. We start placing shame on our lives, start looking at our lives with shame as if we are failures just because we have stood next door, and we're comparing our lives to to other people. So comparison is a thief of joy. If there's one thing that I would encourage us to drop or to avoid or to be mindful about, is comparing. Because this is your life. You make the decisions, you choose yourself. But when you start living your life based on what other people are doing, then you're not living your best life, but you're living their best life. It's no longer yours. So drop the comparison, be mindful, catch yourself early. When you see yourself comparing, when you see that you're starting to compare, with other people or against things that other people have, catch yourself early and drop it. Catch yourself early and tell yourself that no, this is my life. The decisions that I'm making should be beneficial to me and should be the best decisions that I make at that particular time for me, the best decisions for me. So comparison, we should always, always, always try not to compare. Okay. The other thing, ladies, that I have told myself that I'm going to do is to define what best life is for me. For me, what does best life mean for me? So I decided that for me to tell myself that I'm living the best life, it has to start with my thinking. Is my thinking nurturing me? Am I choosing me? And then the words that I speak, am I still choosing me? Am I nurturing myself? Then the action that I'm taking, the reactions, am I still choosing love? Am I being positive? And am I nurturing myself? So when you define what best life means for you, then you make your decisions in alignment with how you have defined it. So every decision that I make, no matter how small it has to be a decision out of love. It has to be positive. It has to nurture me. It has to be nurturing to others as well. I have to be choosing myself, because even when the decision is negative to another person, when you say yes to yourself, it's a yes. But when you say no to another person, it's a yes to you. So it's always a yes, yes. Even when you decide that I'm not going to go with my friends today, you're saying no to them, but you're saying yes to yourself. And also, if you decide to go with the friends, you're saying yes to your friends and you're saying yes to yourself. So it's always your choice. Define what best life means for you and ensure that you're making choices in alignment with your definition. The definition should not be based on other people, but yourself. What does it mean, best life for you? What are the values that are important for you? What are you looking for? So your decisions should be in alignment with that, whatever you define your best life is. The other thing that I do, ladies, when I'm choosing to live my best life is to be in the present moment. The here and now is all that I have. Right now is only that's the moment that I have. I don't have the future, neither do I have the past because it's gone. But right now is all that I have, and this moment determines my future. So I savor the moment. I savor my experiences in the present moment. So because of that, ladies, I decided that I will live my life intentionally. Every segment of my life is intentional. From waking up in the morning, actually, from deciding the bed linen that I have on my bed every night, I'm intentional about that. The smell, my perfume, if I'm taking a bath, am I paying attention to myself? I savor every moment. When I'm taking a shower, I'm in the moment. I'm experiencing every little bit about it. When I'm applying lotion on myself, even when I decide to speak to someone in the morning, when I'm making coffee, I pay attention to what I'm doing so that that moment doesn't pass. It doesn't pass. Whatever I'm doing, even if I'm doing laundry, I'm paying attention to that. If I decide to listen to someone, I'm listening. I'm fully present for that moment, because the present moment is all I have. The present moment is a gift from God. So if I invalidate it by wasting my time or my thinking in the future, or worried about the future, or worried about or living in guilt or regret about my past, then I'm ignoring the gift that I have right now. So my life is so intentional, ladies. When I'm toasting bread, is it I'm there, I'm looking at it, smelling it, touching, feeling everything, looking. I have to, everything that I look at, it has to be beautiful for my eyes. Everything that I smell, it has to be beautiful for my nose. I touch, I listen, I music. I'm intentional with everything, every little moment of my life. That's living the best life for me, because I don't miss a moment. Even when I'm at work, I try to have fun. I'm smiling, I'm feeling good all the time. My goal is feeling good and savoring the moment, every moment of my life, so that at the end of the day, when I go to bed, I haven't missed anything. You ask me, how was your day? I will tell you my day was good. I'll tell you my day was good. So I don't miss a thing. I'm mindful of what I'm thinking. And I choose the best thought to focus on. I'm mindful of what I speak. And I'm mindful of my actions and my reactions. I don't just do things, without knowing what I'm doing. I'm intentional about my moves. So that's, for me, that's living my best life. If I'm intentional, the cup that I drink from, the plate that I use, the cutlery, everything. It's my choice. I have to choose, be intentional about my choices, be intentional about my decisions. Everything that I do, it has to be for me. Am I choosing this? Do I want this? Is this what I want? Is this the outcome that I want? Whether it's negative or it's positive, I don't care. Is it as a result of my choosing? Am I being forced to do this? Or am I forcing myself? Am I in resistance? I'm so mindful about that. So here and now, being in the present moment is how I live my best life. That's living my best life, being present for whatever I'm doing. The other thing that I do, ladies, to ensure that I'm living my best life is to line up with my decisions. Line up with my decisions. Yeah. I'm mindful of the stories that I tell myself. So if I decide that I'm going to wash dishes, I'm not going to be then telling myself stories of, oh, these people are abusing me. They think I'm their slave and they think I'm their slave. I'm just doing my dishes. No, if I make a decision to go and wash dishes, then I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to tell myself negative stories or negative assumptions or negative narratives or interpretations about what I decide to do. If I decide to sleep and not do anything the whole day, then yes, I'm going to give myself a very nice story about it. I'm taking care of myself. This is self care. This is loving myself, and I'm staying in bed the whole day. I then don't tell myself that I'm lazy or I'm not responsible or I'm not a responsible mom. Whatever decision I make, I line up with the stories that I tell myself are always positive. Yes, no matter what I'm doing, I don't tell myself, I don't criticize myself. If I make a decision, I line up with it. If I make a decision to steal sugar, I'm going to line up with it and tell myself I was supposed to steal that sugar because I had to feed my kids. I was being responsible. I line up with my decision. I support my decision. I do not criticize myself. And that's living my best life. I do not criticize myself. I don't do that because that decision was the best decision for me in that moment. Stealing that sugar was the best decision for me in that moment. I had to feed my kids. Yes, I might face the consequences in future. I'll see it then, but that's the future. But in the moment, that's what I needed to do at that particular time. So I line up with my decisions. If I decide that I'm going to, if something is irritating me and I decide that I'm going to stay, then I'm going to enjoy the staying. I'm not going to decide to stay and then bash my head and live in resentment for making that decision. So living my best life means make a decision and line up with it. Line up with it. Watch your story that you're telling yourself. Because the present moment, ladies, is the reality. That's your truth. That's the reality that you have right in front of you. So the narrative, how you interpret the present moment, will determine whether you're living your best life or you're living a frustrated life. So I tell stories that nurture me. I tell stories that are positive to me. I tell stories that are only good for me, that bring out the purpose, whatever purpose that I wanted to achieve in that present moment. Because that's the reality. That's my reality. That's the truth. So I live the truth. And living the truth for me is living my best life. So there you go, ladies. That's my definition of living my best life. I make decisions to choose me. I make decisions that are based on love, that are positive, and that nurture me. Then I live in the present moment. I live in the present, savor every moment. I don't miss a thing. And then I line up with that decision. Whatever I choose to do in that particular thing, I line up with it. I tell my stories from a positive point of view. I only tell stories that support me. Even if it's a challenging thing, I'll tell myself that it's a lesson that I needed to learn. Even if it's an outcome that I wasn't expecting, I'll tell myself that that was not meant for me. I wasn't ready for that. So there you go, ladies. I hope you are living your best life. I hope you can use these tips to live your best lives as well. So happy living. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.